You've got a secret admirer, and I'm hearing professional curiosity. So it feels like this person first caught sight of you, first gravitated towards you, first came to like know of you or came across you, maybe came across your page on social media, came across your business, has encountered you through work or just like in your community or in a platonic sense. And there was a sense that originally it was almost like they were very curious as far as like what you had going on, what you had to offer, who you are as a person. Maybe this is somebody that has been considering in like investing in businesses, or they had some sort of need for goods or services that you were offering, or they had heard about you through like word of mouth. Somebody might have referred you to them, or something where they might have even just like overheard other people sort of talking about you. Something that if this is like a virtual kind of an interaction, or like they're watching you, online, there could be something where like the algorithm just put you in front of them without them really seeking this out, and it's something where you've caught their attention, you caught their eye for reasons that it feels like at first they were just sort of like, I don't know why, but I'm drawn to this person. I don't know why, but they seem really interesting. I don't know why, but I want to look at this. I want to watch this. I want to sort of see what this is, or see kind of what's going on. It feels like this person has been sort of a spectator in your life, kind of in the shadows, but not really in like a hardcore lurking kind of way. It's something where this isn't like they've gone out of their way to sort of obsessively look into things, but they've been very alert to your presence. They've taken notice of things. It's something where there has been, again, like a professional interest or a professional curiosity. It feels like a switch has flipped inside of this person, where now they're like attracted to you on more than just a platonic level. Now there's kind of the sense of like, I'm seeing you move. I'm seeing you walk through the world. I'm seeing you, shine your light very brightly. I'm seeing you and your authenticity, or just like doing what you do. And it stirred something within me emotionally, and I'm not sure why. It feels like this person is wanting to lean in closer. This person is wanting to make their presence more obvious or known to you, because there's a sense of that they're not necessarily afraid of rejection or intimidated by these feelings. There's almost a sense of like, this is sudden, this caught me by surprise, and they were already looking at you with kind of a like a curious lens, like a curious mindset. And so there's a sense of this person feels like, I don't really have anything to lose to, see, hey, is there really something to this? Is there something to what it is that I'm feeling? Maybe there's some compatibility here. Maybe there can be a connection here. Maybe this is something that could be good for the two of us. Maybe this is something that could be interesting for the two of us. It feels like this person kind of wants to come forth casually. This is not someone that's opposed to just like having a fling, but it's also somebody who is not opposed to, things becoming more seriously between the two of you. So it feels like in terms of this energy, it's not imposing. This isn't somebody that's like coming forth with a sense of urgency. This is not someone that would come on too strong. It's almost somebody that it feels compelled to like move towards you very casually, that it just feels natural to do so. And this may speak to kind of like them as a person, their charisma, their confidence, or whatever they have going on in their life at this point in time, or wherever they're at emotionally in terms of, baggage from the past that they've offloaded, or, sort of resolution that they've created to previous heartbreaks. Like, this is somebody who's in a really good emotional space. They're in a really good headspace. And so this is a very conscientious kind of like move forward. This isn't somebody that's just, I feel magnetized towards you. I feel pulled in towards you. It's almost like I've had my attention on you. I've had my eye on you for very kind of like surface level reasons that didn't involve romance, and now that something has stirred within, it's almost like an excuse to come up and talk to you, or to start having different interactions with you, or more regular interactions with you. For some of you, this is somebody that you already just kind of like know casually. You've encountered this person. You could be a client or customer of theirs, or they could be a client or customer of yours. It's possible that this is a coworker, or even just somebody that is like in your community, in your town, in your city. Somebody that you encounter on a semi-regular basis that you might not have put much thought into, kind of like, okay, maybe there's a spark here, maybe there's some kind of attraction here, but you've caught this person's attention. They have observed you more than you've observed them. It feels like for a lot of you, you might have taken notice of this person. Like, they're not just going to come out of left field and have to be like, hi, I'm this stranger that's taken note of you, give me the time of day. For some of you, this would just be kind of like, oh, this person that I'm familiar with, they're wanting to have more of a conversation. Oh, this person that I'm familiar with, they're starting to open up about things personally, or they've asked me out to coffee, or they gave me their number, or they asked for my number, or something like that. For others of you, this could be somebody that you're on one another's social media, or this is somebody on your social media, and they send you that message for the first time. That again wouldn't just be like a totally random person coming into your life. If it is social media, they've got like a public profile, what do you want to know, kind of things that they post. It's very it doesn't give off any kind of like red flags, or sort of warning labels as far as this person is concerned. This is not someone that's coming in like sleazy and just sort of like, okay, I'm only interested in one thing, and that's sort of written all over my page. This is somebody that's like a normal person, so to speak. So it feels like it's something that, coupled with kind of this mindset or this vibe that they have going on, it feels like it would make you very kind of like comfortable, or very intrigued, for them to come forth and start conversation, or start to get to know you more, or kind of announce this intention of like, hey, I'd like to get to know you better, can we go somewhere and talk. We've got benefactor, grace, and generosity. So this person sees you as a very kind person, a very down-to-earth person, a very reasonable person is what I'm hearing. So this person might have seen you interact with other individuals, maybe, the nature of your business, or, however it is that they've seen you or encountered you. You could have, dealt with like angry clients, angry customers, or, people that were very irrational and kind of like not operating at a high vibration, not at a grounded frequency. And the way that you've handled things has really impressed this person. The way that you carry yourself, this person sees you as being very, very poised and very put together. That makes them, again, not sort of question the fact that it's like, oh, I think I've developed a little crush on you. Let me go explore that and sort of see what that's all about. There's a sense that for some of you, there may be, based on kind of like the dynamic, it may be sort of like a tricky situation where if there's some kind of professional relationship, there's a sense that this person doesn't want to like come on too strong or overstep any kind of boundaries that would make like awkwardness in your professional relationship, or something that would almost be like they're coming out of left field. And so there may be a sense of kind of like trying to move sort of quietly, trying to be sort of subtle, but not playing mind games, not making you kind of like question, like, okay, are they flirting with me? Like, what's their intention here? This is somebody that wants to be very transparent with you, but they want to feel things out, and they sense that you're somebody that could really pick up on that. You could understand that. That would be something in alignment with kind of the vibe that you're putting out, a vibe of being very just kind of, again, like down to earth, very, comfortable with yourself, comfortable with whatever you have going on, your position in life at this particular point in time. So it feels just natural for this person to just sort of walk up and talk to you. We also have Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain. Yeah, so this person is not coming to you with, a string of X's and things are unresolved. This is not someone who is headed in your direction and it's kind of like, I don't know what I want. So, let me just kind of sample the goods here and then toddle off in another direction and see if the grass is greener elsewhere. It feels like this person wants to come forth and really give this an honest try, really see like, hey, can there be something here? Can there be a spark between the two of us? Can this be something real? Maybe this is something casual and we have a really good time with one another. Maybe this is something that evolves into something more seriously and then we have a great time with one another. So it feels that this person brings a lot of like emotional maturity, emotional wisdom, and the fact that they have kind of like learned from mistakes of the past. It primarily sort of like you can't carry that old baggage into new situations. So it feels like they're really gonna like take this with you at face value. It's kind of just like an open to whatever sort of energy. They're not placing a lot of expectations upon this. This isn't somebody that really even like fears rejection. They're not gonna come towards you, with their chest puffed out and operating in this really kind of like heavy ego-based energy. But there's a sense of almost coming in just very casually, to where it's like if you turn them down, or it turns out maybe you're seeing someone else, you're just not like looking to date, not interested in romance, or you don't feel a connection between the two of you, then this is something where this person will just be fine with kind of going back about the motions of their life. If there is that professional connection, though, there's a sense of like, I don't want anything to sort of interfere with that in any sort of way. And so they may be very careful with their words or careful with their approach. But this would also delight them if it's like, yeah, you are attracted to them too, you're interested in them too, you're open to getting to know this person. So they bring forth like a non-threatening energy, something that it feels like might be very surprising or very intriguing for you at this point, especially if you've had circumstances in the past, you have anything going on right now with somebody that is kind of like non-committal, they don't really know what they want, or it's kind of an unresolved situation, or they've just you've hit pause on that circumstance with that person. This may be something that's really good to kind of like put your attention elsewhere, get your mind on other things. It feels like this person that wants to come towards you, they're not trying to rush anything. This isn't somebody that's trying to spin the block as far as like mind games are concerned, and just sort of like get you in bed. They find you attractive, so they'd like that to happen. If that's something that you would want to happen, to end up to being intimate with one another. But this isn't somebody that is like coming forth with this sort of intention or actions that are like, I'm going to try and, use trickery and guile in order to sort of get my way in this circumstance. So it might even be something where, you have like a talking stage, you get to know this person, and you end up with a new friend, or something where it's like, now you have options. You got the person, for those of you that are dealing with another person, somebody that can't necessarily make up their mind, or it's uncertain where it's going. And then you've got somebody that is very present in the now, with kind of like, I'm cool with whatever happens between the two of us. I just find you interesting. I find the time that we spend together worthwhile. I'd like to see where this goes. We've got a tidy house, clarity, and organization. So this person, again, feels that you're very put together. You're all about business. This person sees that you got all your ducks in a row. That may or may not be the case, but it's how you're presenting to this person, which they feel very confident then, and kind of like, okay, I'm not trying to bring chaos into anyone's life. I'm not trying to invite chaos into my life. This is somebody that's in a very good place, mind, body, and soul. They've got a good routine. They got a good head on their shoulders. And so it feels like there is no sort of energy of like, I'm not okay, by myself, or I'm lonely and just looking for someone to kind of fill that void space. They're very conscientiously wanting to move towards you, because there's a sense of like, what I see and what I understand and what I perceive of you, what I've come to know of you up to this point in time. It feels like you've got a lot of things in alignment, and that might really align with kind of like what I'm looking for, what I bring to the table. And I think that there could be something good or very compatible, between the two of us. If you would like to give this a chance, give this an opportunity, I come in peace, I bring peace and stability towards you. And I feel like you're someone that could also, reciprocate that to me as well. We also have the crossing, initiation. So this is somebody that's willing to put in the work, to take the time to get to know you, take the time to, help the two of you kind of evolve beyond the understanding you may have of one another at this point. Like if it's a professional connection, or, somebody that you've just sort of seen out and about. Or for some of you, you've never, you don't you don't know this person from the next person, but they're very aware of who you are. And so there's a sense of like, I don't want to just come in like a bull in a china shop and, sort of crash through your door and expect that, you're going to be like, yeah, great. Hey, someone's talking to me. Someone's expressing interest. Let me just kind of flit off in that direction and see what happens. This is somebody that is wanting to take a very methodical approach to this situation. I'm hearing good things come to those who wait. So it feels like this person's very patient to put in that work, to get to know you. If you agree to go out with them on a date, it feels like they're not even going to try to hold your hand or kiss you at the end of that date. And there's a sense of like, if you think that that's an okay thing, great, we can have another date. If that's something that doesn't align with you, then I guess we aren't meant for each other. So this is somebody, again, that has already established like a non-romantic sense of just attraction or interest towards you. So they're not trying to rush into anything sexual. They're not trying to rush into anything intimate. They're not trying to rush into anything emotional. They're not trying to rush into anything romantic. They're open for that happening, but there's a sense of kind of like, let's just see where this goes. We also have dances on one foot, balancing act. Yeah, so for a lot of you, this is somebody, again, that is kind of like, they're scoping out the situation between the two of you. If there's that like professional boundary here, or, even the fact that they may be aware of you, you're not aware of them. So they got to differentiate themselves from creeps that just sort of pop up in your DMs, kind of establish themselves as somebody that is a reasonable person, or, has like very good intentions. This is something where they're trying to come up with a plan of action so that they don't scare you off, so that they don't, cross any sort of thresholds that shouldn't be crossed, so that they don't, misread any of the signals that you're giving. This is somebody that has already been observing you, so they're gonna take the lead, but it feels like beyond that sort of like first step towards you, there's first couple of steps towards you, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to lead and then I'm going to follow your lead. You're either going to be open to me, or it's something where, I'll back off just as quickly as I come in if you're kind of like giving me those signals that you're not interested. This is somebody, it feels like, that is wanting to take like a slow and steady approach, at least at this kind of like first next step between the two of you. They're not wanting to like make anyone uncomfortable. They're not wanting to kind of create awkwardness, but there is a sense of sort of like, I find you interesting, I find you attractive, something has fluttered within the heart space, something has, come alive within me as far as like a crush is concerned. And this is somebody that's not just gonna like sit on that. They're not gonna sit in that uncomfortable energy of like pining for someone from afar. They're confident enough in themselves that it's like, I'm going to put myself out there, and you either reject me or we see where this goes. We have whale song resonating. So if you've had conversations with this person so far, just kind of like surface level chit chat, they've resonated with a lot of what you've said. They feel that you're a good conversationalist. You are someone that is very interesting, very fascinating. It'd be fascinating to get to know you, to see how your mind works, or, just get to know more of the details about you that aren't as apparent on the surface level. If this is somebody that, has been like watching your social media, or that's kind of the way in which they've discovered you or connected to you, then they find your content very fascinating. The pictures you put up, the things that you post, other content that you have out there, to where there's something very like unique about that resonates with them, not just in terms of the nature of the content, but in your delivery, how you present yourself, who you are as a person. We also have cosmic womb, divine feminine. So they see you in your full feminine energy, regardless of gender. This is something where they see you as a very sensitive person, a very creative person, somebody who's really aligned with some kind of purpose-filled life. You are reaching towards goals that align with a higher purpose, or you found your purpose in life. You're living that truth. You're living that purpose right now. So it's very exciting for this person to like come towards you and to explore the possibilities of what might occur, romantically speaking, because there's a sense of like, you present this energy of just being very in alignment with yourself. And that may be very different from other romantic experiences they've had with other people. And it may also be just what they're looking for, just what they need, just what they require in their life. We also have sky dancers, surrender. Yeah, so this person, wants to take turns kind of leading and following in this situation. This is not someone that's going to want to, prolong an experience of being coy or suggestive or, flirting or innuendos. There may have already been an exchange like that to a certain extent, but it feels like for a lot of you, this person has kind of kept these feelings to themselves because they're relatively speaking new. Even if this is someone that's been in your life or in the peripheral of your life for a minute or for a while, it's like those budding feelings, those blossoming feelings, they've not really shown that. They've kind of just been observing those as well from within. So this is somebody who wants to take the next step towards you, and depending on your responsiveness, not just in terms of like at face value, because if they're coming forth like, virtually, if it's somebody that's like on your social media, they anticipate that you are the kind of person that's not just gonna be like, oh yeah, somebody reached out and messaged me, cool, okay, I'm gonna carve out a window of time every day where we're having these interactions. There's a sense of understanding, like they're gonna have to separate themselves from like other people that may have other intentions, or just be bored and looking to sort of fill their time with chatting with strangers, or whatever else is kind of the case. That this person wants to sort of let you know that, again, like they come in peace, they're a safe person, they're not trying to put any pressure on you, but they're very curious about if there's a spark, if there's a potential, if they are someone that you would be interested in, or the type of person that you're looking for. We also have in the hand, the universe is your partner. Yeah, so that's more of that confirmation of somebody reaching out, somebody making a move towards you. They are not just going to sit in this secret admirer energy for very long or for very much longer. So for a lot of you, in the relatively speaking near future, it's like a 30-day window with this card. It's like close enough to touch, basically. That this person is gearing up to approach you, to say something, to make that move, or to make it more clear that it's not just a professional curiosity or like a platonic sort of fascination that they have with you, but that there's, kind of tender feelings that they have. There's a crush that they've developed, and they want to explore that out in the open. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.